I'm also not going to pretend in this video that it's easy for everyone to be happy, alone, detached, unbothered, because that simply wouldn't be fair, and I don't think that's true either. You might even be someone who describes yourself as a relationship person, and you might be someone who really wants a love in your life. And if you are that person, that is fine. You can still watch this video and you can still start to enjoy your life now, even though you don't have that person in your life. We are turning that desperate energy into thriving energy. Going out with your friends to a cafe thinking that you're going to meet the love of your life. Every time you're in the gym, you're scanning the room for your future partner. To me, this is not thriving. It's okay to meet people and to want to be approachable, but constantly being hooked on who is going to be your next partner or your first life partner, to me, is simply not being fulfilled and being single and thriving. People either see single as being, oh, poor you, it must be so lonely, or damn, I wish I was single, I wish I had that freedom. And honestly, when you are single, you feel every wave of emotion. Lonely, unlovable at times, doubt that your person even exists in the world, or relieved that you don't have to wait for anyone. You don't have to make plans based on what somebody else wants to do. Happy that you get to spend all of your free time with your friends and your family. It's confusing, it's everything, but it's also an incredible part of life. I want to help you think, wow, I love my life, I love being single. And if anybody comes into my life, they are just going to add to how great it already is. This video is structured into my 6 steps to enjoy your single life. At the end, I will give you actionable steps that you can implement today that I give in the video, and I will also touch on becoming a likable person. As always, the chapters are below in case you want to go to a specific part of the video, but I do recommend watching the entire video if you truly want to embody and enjoy your single life. A bit of backstory: I was in a 3.5-year relationship, and the day that that relationship ended, I moved country. I moved from the UK to Sweden. I felt the feelings, I felt the heartbreak, and I felt the fear that no one would ever love me the way that he did. I felt the doubt, and I even felt the desperation, and maybe many feelings that you are feeling right now. I was looking around, looking for the perfect person again, dating people, thinking, how do they not love me like my ex loved me? I thought everyone would love me that way. So I felt the feelings, but now I am a completely new person. So this is what I did, what I do, and what I recommend for you to enjoy being single. I'm also not going to pretend in this video that it's easy for everyone to be happy, alone, detached, unbothered, because that simply wouldn't be fair, and I don't think that's true either. You might even be someone who describes yourself as a relationship person, and you might be someone who really wants a love in your life. And if you are that person, that is fine. You can still watch this video and you can still start to enjoy your life now, even though you don't have that person in your life. I promise you that you will be much happier whilst you date people and whilst you look for your person if you are enjoying your own life and your own company, rather than hating your single life. Everyone says that having a purpose is for men, that having a purpose is a masculine trait, but having a purpose is simply a human need. And the first step to enjoying your single life is working on something that you love, whether that is your fitness, whether that is cooking, whether it's your food, whether it's yourself, whether it's going shopping, whether it's a hobby that you have, or whether it's a business that you're building. Working on something that you love is so crucial for enjoying your life in general. I'm sure you know someone who does the same, who has a hobby, who has a cool sport that they're always doing. This not only takes away from the focus of looking for someone, of expecting to find someone, but it also makes your life way more enjoyable because you are working on something in your free time. Rather than in your free time, you're scrolling on dating apps, or you're going on dates, or you're looking for your partner in public spaces, you're actually just doing a hobby, working on something that you love, and bettering yourself. Because when you do that, you might naturally just meet the person that you are supposed to be with. But even better, you will become a better person, and you will be on that self-development journey, and you will be able to just test and try new things. A sense of purpose in life is viewed as a central component of well-being and refers to the extent that people see their lives as having meaning, a sense of direction and goals. Find life outside of your relationships. Pour into something you love and become your own project, because the more that you pour into you, the more that you can pour into other people, the more that you can give when eventually maybe you do have that partner into your life. I made a video all about becoming your own project, and I definitely recommend watching that video if you are curious as to how you can better yourself and what you can do to make yourself and your life more enjoyable by having something, a purpose that you are working on. For me, for example, I always had my business. I always had the businesses that I was building outside of my family, outside of my friends, outside of my boyfriend at the time. I always had something else that gave me a lot of meaning and a lot of purpose in my life. So when I ended my 3.5-year relationship, I didn't feel like I had so much spare time and nothing to work on. I felt like, okay, I have more time to invest in me, invest in this thing that I'm working on, this hobby or sport that I want to get better at, or more time to spend on my dream business, making the money that I want to make. It gives you a chance to actually work on something that you want. Work on something that you love, become a way more interesting person, because by the time that you date someone and they ask, what do you do in your free time? And you're like, I scroll on Hinge. I mean, that's not that fun. You want to be someone who's like, yeah, I do this, I do that, I built this, I built that. Like, there's nothing wrong with not building anything and not building a business and not constantly working on yourself, right? But it's a fact that the most interesting people are doing things. They're doing things in real life, whether it's working on themselves, whether it's building something, they are doing something. I recommend finding something that you love and working with something that you love. Create a purpose in your life. I was editing this video and honestly didn't think it was very fair to not add something in here about how to actually find your purpose. In this stage that you're at, it might not be a purpose that you're looking for, but it might be a stepping stone. A stepping stone is simply something that takes you from where you are at now closer to a bigger goal that you have and closer to something that feels meaningful to you. So I've been thinking about what a stepping stone really needs, and it needs 6 things in order for it to be an effective stepping stone that also feels purposeful to you. Your stepping stone needs to be challenging, enjoyable, help you grow / develop new skills, in line with your core values, and mid-term. So it's not short-term and it's not long-term. You're not looking 10 years in advance here right now, but you're also not looking 1 month in advance, but you're looking mid-term, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. When you're thinking of what this stepping stone could be, you're looking mid-term. So think of something that you can do right now that meets these 6 criteria. This could be starting an online business. It could be finally starting that fitness Instagram that you've been thinking about for 6 months. It could be putting your work on Fiverr or Upwork just to see what happens. Just remember to make sure that it is challenging, enjoyable, develops your skill set, it's in line with your core values, it's midterm, and it helps other people. I realized I forgot to add the 6th one, which is helps other people. Helps other people / contributes to the world in a positive way, because when we're doing something that helps other people, not just ourselves, and it contributes to the world in a positive way, it gives us an immense sense of purpose, as well as things that are enjoyable. It helps us keep going. Things that are challenging, it pushes us, it helps us grow. Things that help us develop a new skill set that we can take on later in life. Things that are in line with our core value. These 6 criteria, doing something that meets these 6 criteria will be an effective stepping stone to either helping you find your purpose or becoming your purpose. For me, this is my agency that I started. Who knows if this agency is my life purpose? Who knows if doing influence marketing is something that I'm going to be doing in 10 years' time? I don't know, but it's my stepping stone and it meets these 6 criteria and it's working for me right now. I also definitely see it midterm, and it definitely has a really big purpose behind it, and that gives me like so much energy and helps me work on it every single day. So that's really important. I'm not thinking 6 months time, but I'm literally thinking 1, 2, 3 years time with this. And it also fuels my dream life right now. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I think if you find a stepping stone that meets these 6 criteria, you can say the exact same thing. But if you are truly craving to start something big, then I recommend completing Ikigai, which is this diagram that I'll leave on the screen now. You might have heard of it before, but this is a great practice to do if you want to find your life purpose. But anyway, back to the video. Dating yourself. Just because you're not happy being single now doesn't mean that you can never be happy being single. The reason that you're not happy is not because you are single, but it could be a bunch of other things. So often we relate single people to, like I said in the beginning of the video, poor you, that must be so lonely. But it doesn't have to be. If you date yourself and cultivate a positive relationship with yourself, then you are gonna have the best time. Happiness is not another person, but happiness is you. I remember finding it hard to even watch a series that I liked if I wasn't watching it with my partner, if I wasn't watching it with my boyfriend and I wasn't feeling like that was quality time. I found it so hard to go to places that I love, to go to a museum, to go to a cafe, to go to a restaurant, because I thought it's a waste of time if it's just me on my own. I may as well wait for the right person. I may as well wait until I can enjoy that with somebody else. This is how you make your single life miserable. If you keep waiting and stop dating yourself. I actually started doing fun things even if I didn't have anyone to do them with. A great example of this is a friend that I have. She has just started dating someone that she really likes, and the funny thing is that she met this person when she started to love her life and when she honestly started to create her dream life. She started to spend more time with friends, started to work on the things in her business that lit her up, started to go to events, and guess where she met the person that she's dating now? At an event, because she actually started to live her life and date herself and put herself first. Here are some date yourself ideas. I really want to be wary of making these ideas affordable as well and accessible to most of you, because I don't want to always suggest, like go onto a restaurant or go to a solo trip, because sometimes you don't want to spend lots of money on yourself, and I completely understand that, especially if you're in a phase of life where you do want to save and you want to invest in yourself. So these date ideas don't have to be expensive, they don't have to be splashing out, they don't have to be bougie, but they are just fun things where you can spend quality time with yourself, and they are things that you might do with a future partner, things that you might do with someone that you really like. A personal favorite of mine is a solo trip. I feel like solo trips are life-changing. Moving country, going traveling, going away for a weekend is a truly life-changing experience when you do it alone, but obviously it's not affordable for everyone and it's not accessible for everyone. But also a great thing that you can do is just take the evening off to do something that you love, whether it's a face mask, whether it's watching a series, whether it's a massaging yourself, doing face yoga or something like that. Take time out to spend time with you, because I remember finding this so hard to do, and I just found it pointless until I actually did it and realized how important that is to look after me and to spend time with me, rather than always meditating and always journaling. Actually doing things that you don't really have an expectation from, just to have a nice time with yourself. I want to mention deferred happiness syndrome here as well, because deferred happiness syndrome is when you defer your happiness state because you are waiting for something or someone to come into your life. And if you are constantly deferring your happiness because you're waiting for something, then you are never going to be able to feel in the present moment and feel the happiness that you feel. So if you find that you are pushing away happiness because you're waiting for a person or you're waiting for something, then acknowledge that and try to feel that happiness now. Because whether you are wanting to bring a partner into your life and that's why you're watching this video, or you are just wanting to enjoy your single life, right? Everybody likes to hang around with someone who is happier and more fulfilled and actually enjoying their life. So please stop deferring your happiness and appreciate all the time that you have, all the time that you have been given now. The fact that you don't have to ask someone when you go out, or you don't have to ask someone where they want to eat, you get to decide. Being single gives you so much agency over your own life that I almost think it's quite harmful, because if someone comes into my life now, I'm like, whoa, Do I have to change things? So appreciate the agency that you have in your life right now, being single. Your health. You now have spare time, which is a blessing for your mind and your body. I want you to see it that way. I want you to see it as a blessing for your mind and your body that you have spare time to put into your health. I always like to refer my videos back to health because I feel like health and well-being is one of the most important things, well, if not the most important thing, because without your health, you literally have nothing. So in this section, I want you to define habits that your future self does. Define healthy habits that they do and start doing those habits, because this is how you become the person that you want to be. And being single and enjoying your life is kind of like a self-improvement, self-development exercise, right? We're trying to enjoy our life more. And part of that is becoming healthier. It's being able to move. It's being able to be flexible. It's being able to work out. It's being able to run. It's being able to be free. So what habits right now do you want to start implementing, or does your future self do? Like, who is that future you? If you are trying to be someone who will run a marathon, well, what do they do every day? Do they go for a run in the morning? Do they go for a run in the afternoon? If you're trying to be someone who feels confident in their body, how are they going to feel that? Do you need to work on your inner confidence? There are always goals and things that we should be striving for. I feel like we should all have goals and things that we want in life. So what are those, and how can you start today with simple habits that are going to take you closer to those goals? Also, self-validation. You are single, which means that you might not have that person always telling you that you look amazing in that outfit, always telling you that your hair looks good before you go out. If you don't have that person now, then this is good, because this is time to validate yourself. And this is time to say, you know what, I do look good. You know what, I am smart. You know what, I do know what I'm talking about and I'm actually doing well. Validate yourself on a daily basis to enjoy your life more. Fall in love with self-improvement as a sign of self-respect. Self-improvement is improving yourself, improving your life, working on yourself in small ways, and this is respecting yourself. If you are not working out, taking care of your body, eating well, then this is almost like you are distant from yourself and your body, and you have a lack of respect. You might not view it like this now, but I promise you, if you start viewing it like this, it's going to be much easier to be the healthy, best version of yourself. The personal development side of this is all about setting goals and setting yourself challenges. I started to set myself mini challenges because I found that it's easier to work on myself in this way. So if there is something, if I feel like I'm too comfortable and yeah, maybe I'm feeling a bit stagnant in life, then I set myself small challenges. It gives me something to do, it makes me a better person, it develops myself. Challenges that are quite hard, whether it's talking to a stranger or recording like a YouTube video every week this year, uploading something that feels slightly challenging, but you still have faith that you can do it. Because now we also want to build our self-confidence, and the best way to build your self-confidence is by setting yourself a challenge or a goal or a plan and actually following through with that and completing it, because then you've just proven to yourself that you can do hard things, that you can do things that you set your mind to, and this is going to build your self-confidence. Talking about challenges, some people won't find your challenges challenging to them. And I want you to remember this before you start comparing what feels hard to you versus what feels hard to a friend. Going to an event where you don't know anyone might feel like torture, whereas to your extroverted friend, that might be her ideal evening and exactly what she wants to do. So if something is challenging to you, it might not be challenging to somebody else. Choose your own challenges and complete them, and be proud of yourself for completing those challenges. Talking to strangers for me is so out of my comfort zone. That's why I want to do it more. To one of my best friends, it's not at all. She does it with ease, but I don't let that discourage me or let that lessen the value of me doing it for me, right? So if you have a challenge that is not challenging to your friend, it doesn't mean that your challenge is easy. It doesn't mean that your challenge is less hard to you. I just wanted to add that in here because I know that comparison is everywhere. It's a thief of joy, and we are all doing it all of the time. So please don't compare your personal challenges to somebody else's. Okay, Bye. To be honest, most of my time being single has left me with almost no time to actually think about dating people because I have been so busy doing these things. I have been so busy working on my goals, setting myself many challenges, working on my business, working on my dream life, because I'm also very aware that I am constantly evolving and growing. So if I were to maybe meet somebody now, then maybe they might not be right for me next year, because I know that I'm all growing and changing so much, which is really exciting. So when you start to implement, the habits, the challenges, the goals that you set yourself, you'll realize like, oh my god, I have no time to even be sad and single because I'm working on myself so much and there's so much that I want to do. And I think this gives you so much freedom. Ask yourself what you honestly want from your life. So much of the time, we don't let ourselves actually choose what we want from our life and actually choose how we want to live and how we want to spend our days. We think that the plan is given to us and this is your plan and you have to follow through with it, when in most cases, this actually isn't true. Obviously there are cases where you have to follow a plan and you have parents and you have people in your life like impacting you and impacting what you do. But if you are watching this video, it's most likely that you have freedom and you have agency over your life. Figure out what you honestly want from your life, write that down and start working towards it, because then if you are going to attract someone, you're going to attract someone who's going to also be in that dream life that you have created for yourself. Also, maybe your dream life is to be married, to be in a relationship, to have babies, or to have that one true love. And even if it is there something outside of that you do? Is there something, okay, maybe you are a mom, maybe you have a husband, maybe you are doing that, but outside of that, what do you work on? Do you read a lot? Do you paint? Do you do crafts? And how can you start doing those things now? Because even if your life goal is to have a husband and have babies and you're sad because you don't have that now, I'm sure that future version of you who has the babies, who has the partner, also works on other things in her spare time. What are those things? Even if it's like knitting or something. Friends. I moved to a new country with no friends straight after my breakup of 3.5 years. So I was the definition of lonely. I had nothing and I had to prioritize my friendships and my relationships. If you are getting over a breakup right now, then my honest advice to you is to be alone and then be with people. Process the thoughts as quickly as you can alone, journal on them, write about them, talk about them if you have to, but then you can go into the distraction phase. And that is how I feel like I got over my breakup very quickly, because I got through it mentally first, and then I worked on the distractions, I worked on my friendships, I worked on life outside of my relationship, because so much of the time we get consumed by people. We get consumed by people that we love, by people that we're in a relationship with. So now is your time to invest into friendships and invest into other people that you love that isn't your partner. Prioritize your friends, because with the right people, you can give so much love to them and they can give you that love back. And you can almost have that really lovable feeling that you get when you're in a relationship, that feeling of just feeling loved and feeling secure. With the right people, you can get that from your friends. And in the past year, I think I really felt that, and I really finally felt that way with my friends. Whereas in high school and college, I never fully felt that way. It was always like, yeah, but romantic love, craving that from, a guy, for example. But now it's like, yeah, but I have my friends who I absolutely love, who I am in awe of, so I don't crave having that romantic love in my life, because I feel like I have so much love in my life already. I have a video coming all about making friends, because I felt like I used to find that so difficult, and moving to a new country, knowing no one, I was so scared, but now I have the best friends ever. So look out for that video. I think it will be next week's or in 2 weeks' time. Becoming the person that you want to date. Now, this isn't about attracting someone and about getting someone into your life, but this is about actually living your life and becoming a better version of yourself. Because it's likely that when you want to date someone, you want to date someone who's pretty cool, who's doing cool shit, who's a nice person, who's very kind, who's sensitive, who cares for you, etc. Become the person that you want to date, especially if you want to attract a very specific person into your life. So if you have ever like wrote a list of things that you want in a partner, right? I'm sure so many of us have done this, because if you haven't, it's such a fun exercise to just write down like, 10 non-negotiables, for example. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. When you are writing those down, actually ask yourself whether you are that person, whether you are that. Are they kind? Are they sensitive? Are they caring? Are they charming? Are they confident? How can you be that person? How can you start to become the person that you want to date? Because that's how you are going to attract that person. And that is, again, how you are going to self-develop yourself. Because it's likely that you don't want someone who snaps at you all the time. And you might be a very snappy person. You don't want someone who gets angry when the dishwasher is full or something, and you might get angry at that. So how can you work on yourself based off what you want in another person? This can actually be really hard, because most of the time we hold very high standards for the person that we want to date. So once we have to start being that person, it's actually very difficult. I also have a video on becoming a more positive person, because people want to be around people who are positive. I think this is really important to share with you, because we want to be around a certain type of person, right? We want to be around someone who makes us feel good, who compliments us, etc. But are you being that person yourself? And in this part, I really want you to reflect on the person that you are and the person that you're expecting to be with, whether it's in friendships or relationships now. Who do you expect to be around? Who do you enjoy being around? And ask yourself if you are that person. Now, a bit on becoming a likable person. Something that I've realized recently is, to become a likable person, it doesn't mean that you have to say more, that you have to be more, that you have to take up more space, but most of the time it's about listening, and it's about actually being that person who listens to people and who is there for people. And the main thing is that you make people feel good in your presence. If you are constantly running around and constantly stressed, and you're stressing out people around you, then it's going to be harder for them to like you, because they are going to associate that feeling with stress to you. So when it comes to seeing you, they're going to be like, oh, but like, they feel stressed, you know, because every time they see you, you make them feel stressed. It's the same with feeling anxious, angry, or sad. This is something I've really discovered in the past 2 years, you know, when it comes to making new friends. You will notice this as well. How do you feel when you spend time with that specific person? Do you feel self-conscious about yourself? Do you feel a bit worried? Do you feel on edge? Do you feel really happy? Do you feel fun? Do you feel funny? Do you feel excited? So it's like, how can you make somebody feel the feelings that you want to feel in your relationships and in your friendships? This is how you ultimately become a likable person. I have a video all about this, and I also touch on having goals and dreams, because having goals and dreams and working on something makes you way more likable, because people see you as ambitious and have potential and be working on something, and people are always attracted to people who are working on themselves and working on something that they love. Now I'm going to run through some action steps for you, because I want you to actually be able to take action today and this week starting on how you can enjoy your single life. Take yourself out on a date, whether it's even for a walk in the park, a quick coffee. Take yourself out and make this a monthly or even a weekly non-negotiable. Carving out that time for yourself as if it was time with your partner is so important, because if you want to attract someone as well, how is the universe going to know that you even have the time to invest in a relationship if you're not even putting the time in yourself, or you don't even give yourself that spare time? For example, when I was like more actively dating, searching for a partner, I wanted to prioritize giving myself spare time where like my calendar was just empty, because that is like time that a person can come into my life. It gives me free time for like someone to take up that space. So give yourself that time and go on your solo date. Let me know what your solo date is going to be in the comments, because I want to hear if you have any other ideas to what I recommended. Pour into something that you love, whether it's a YouTube channel, business, your fitness. Can you start something new, a new hobby, or can you just pour more into something that you already do? Becoming your own project and defining a purpose in your life. This will make your life in general more enjoyable when you are alone, because it's really quite scary when we get attached to someone and when we are in a relationship, because we can very, very easily become content with what we have. And love and relationships are a beautiful thing, but it's scary because we can become so content in their presence and then not want to actually develop ourselves and improve our life because our life feels so comfortable and so nice with them. So now, if you're single, make the most of that ability to work on yourself and not feel so comfortable and not feel so content, and actually start to pour into other things. Health. What 3 habits does your future self do right now? Is it 10k steps? Is it water first thing when they wake up? Is it no phone before bed? It can be so easy and so simple. And how can you do those healthy habits right now to embody the future version of you? This is not only going to make you better and you a better person, but it's also going to make your standards raised for yourself and for the person who's going to come into your life. And the fifth and last one is self-improvement. What improvement do you want to make in yourself right now? Some examples might be intuitive eating, the relationship you have with your parents, your morning routine, better communication with your friends. It can be small things that you just think, I could be a little bit better at that. For me, for example, definitely communication with my friends, because some of my friends live in different countries. I need to communicate with them better. Intuitive eating, yes, and calling my mum even more. So all of those things definitely apply to me, and just improving these small things in your life do accumulate, and they do actually make a huge difference. And when you commit to something, when you commit to, okay, when I think about that person, I'm going to message them. When you commit to that and actually follow through with it, you start to become a reliable person, and then you can rely on yourself. Because I think so much of self-improvement is not trusting ourselves, because we keep breaking promises to ourselves. We keep saying that we're going to do something and then not doing it. So start to say you're going to do something and actually do it, and you will trust yourself and you will have so much more self-confidence. I'm ending the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you got all of this way to the end, then I am so grateful for you. And my last message to you is, you only have you, and that is a beautiful thing. You come into this world alone and you will leave this world alone, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So take care of yourself like that. Like you are the only thing that you have, and your one priority is to take care and nurture yourself. This means having friends, this means having good relationships, but that is your one goal, to keep you healthy, to keep you loved, to keep you vibrant, excited, and actually enjoying your life. If you enjoyed it, you can watch my recent video on how to raise the bar for yourself and your life. If you are on your self-improvement journey, then you will absolutely love that one. You will get so much from it, I promise you. And I also have a newsletter called the Slightly Better Letter. I do honestly believe that small changes lead to big impact. It's not big, huge life changes that we have to make, but it's small changes, small habits that we need to implement every single day that actually lead to the biggest impact in our lives. So that's what the newsletter is all about, and it's also just updates on YouTube videos and things like that. So please subscribe to my Slightly Better Letter and let me know in the comments what your date ideas are and if you like the video. And don't forget to like it. I really, really, really appreciate any likes, any comments. It means a lot. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life. Bye.